Jushin is an elite school located in South Korea. The school was founded by a powerful corporation so that only the children of the upper class could study here. Admission to the school is by birthright, but even among the privileged there is a special internal hierarchy. Those who violate it are punished severely. This is what happened to one of the students who decided to go against the system. First, he was beaten and intimidated, after which he threatened to tell the police about everything, but could not escape, becoming the victim of a car accident. A few months later, a new school semester begins, and the principal asks to welcome a new student. Kanha is a simple and poor boy who has earned the right to attend an elite school thanks to a scholarship and excellent grades. While trying to get to know his classmates, the boy notices that he is not being paid attention to. The key figure in the school is the grandson of the founder of the educational institution, Ryan. He is the one who makes the students silent, speak, or applaud, and none of them will get up from their seats until he does it first. Era takes notice of the funny and cute newcomer, offering to exchange phone numbers with him. Trying to settle into his new school, Kanha looks for his class and a place at the desk, but he is chased away like an outcast. He's poor and the others don't want to see or hear him, so they defiantly ignore the guy. At the same time, the elite high school students are relaxing in a separate room and discussing a girlfriend who left for the US 3 months ago. Jae is Rihanna's girlfriend, who left the country without warning. Era and Woojin are their friends who are worried about the couple's relationship and don't understand why the girl is ignoring them. Despite their friendship, Era is willing to spend the night with Ryan, but he doesn't want it. In the evening, Jae gets in touch and informs about his arrival in Korea. Era meets her friend at the airport and suggests a joint meeting, but the girl suggests doing it tomorrow at the racetrack. She spends the next morning with her family among their close friends and business associates. The father does not like the appearance and dress of his daughter, so they fight a lot. Tearing the top of her dress, the girl hides in the garden, where she accidentally meets a pianist trying to earn a living. This guy turns out to be Kanha, who supports the girl not only in word, but also in deed, giving her his shirt. A little later, Jae meets Ryan and friends. The girl offers the guy to arrange a race, the winner of which will make a wish for the loser. Ryan accepts her terms and the couple starts the race. The girl acts aggressively and drives at top speed. At some point, losing, she almost has an accident, because of which Ryan flies off the track and Jae finishes first. After winning, she declares that she wants to break up as she doesn't love the guy and doesn't want to be with him. The next morning, Kanha finds out that he and Jae are classmates. The guy wants to go to extra classes, but he is ignored by everyone, after which the elite asks the headman to explain to the newcomer where he belongs. Beggars, who got the opportunity to study here thanks to their knowledge, tell that the school has a special hierarchy, and those who do not obey it can be executed. This is exactly what happened to the schoolboy whose place was taken by Kanha. Despite the frightening truth, the guy reacts with a smile and returns to the podium with the elite students to greet them. Admiring the guy's chutzpah, Era invites him to a party at her country house. The next evening, a car arrives to pick up Kanha and bring him to the party. The school children react to the newcomer with obvious derision, believing that he doesn't belong here. Upon seeing the guy, Era suggests playing Russian roulette with a few shots of alcohol, as there is a surprise in one of them. As soon as the guy drinks, it becomes clear that something has been added to all the shots except the first one that Era drank. Kanha gets sick and dizzy, so the guy can't stand on his feet and struggles to regain consciousness in the bathroom. Noticing that Jae is also present at the party, the guy is in no hurry to go home, clearly interested in this beauty. After receiving the message, Jae goes to the house where Ryan was waiting for her, hoping to talk one more time and get the relationship back on track. Meanwhile, Kanha, Era, and the others play a game of truth or action. When it is Kanha's turn, he is asked if there is a girl he wants to spend the night with. The guy prefers action, but he is offered to passionately kiss one of the girls present at the party. Everyone openly hints that this person should be Era, but Kanha leaves in an unknown direction. At some point it becomes clear that the deceased schoolboy is his own brother, whose funeral he endured with difficulty. Kanha is ready to do anything to avenge his brother and punish all those responsible. Assuming that Ryan took his life, Kanha enters the house and passionately kisses Jae in front of the school leader and the surprised crowd, and the girl reciprocates. The next morning, Ryan recalls yesterday's situation and how he slapped Kanda in the face for his act. At the same time, Woojin secretly spends the night with Teacher Han. Afraid lest they be exposed, the couple secretly meet in a rented apartment before leaving through different exits. Ryan's mother returns home for the first time in months, but is completely oblivious to her son. The guy would like her to take her time, but the woman thinks that there are plenty of servants around him capable of satisfying all the whims of a rich schoolboy. Realizing that his mother doesn't care about him, the boy leaves in one of her own cars. Meanwhile, Kanha comes to school and tries to make friends with other students. He is once again ignored by everyone because of his status and financial status. Kanha is aware of his brother being victimized by Rian only because he befriends Jai. Knowing how much the school leader loves this girl, Kanha chose her for a reason and decided to do everything to anger Ryan against himself. Meeting in the canteen in the morning, he realizes that he has succeeded because the main bully dreams of humiliating and destroying Kanha. Ryan decides to discuss the situation with Jay, but the girl ignores him, reminding him that they have broken up and are now just friends, so he has no right to ask her personal questions. Angry, Ryan orders his best friend to make sure the others punish Kang for his insolence. A little later, Yoonsuk orders the rest of the poor schoolboys not to socialize with Kanha, but does so right in his presence. The schoolboy laughs at the situation and stops one of the insolent boys from punching him in the face. Seeing Jay, the guy forgets everything and still gets punched in the face right in front of the teacher, but she doesn't react in any way to what is happening. After the lesson, Kanha decides to apologize to Jay for his kiss, but admits that he really enjoyed it. In the evening, Ryan revisits old tapes with Ji and constantly thinks about the girl, dreaming of getting the relationship back. Era tries to support her friend and offers her help. Late at night, Jay and Woojin secretly meet in an underground bar to drink and talk like old friends. At the same time, the girl continues to be blackmailed with a hidden video camera recording made by a deceased student. The next morning while hunting, her father receives a phone call from someone and the girl realizes that the blackmailer may expose her. A terrified Ji imagines her father will shoot her to avoid having to endure this shame, but luckily it is only her fertile imagination, as the man is just having business problems. The next morning, Kanha notices Yoonsuk hiding pills in his closet and assumes they are illegal substances. His deceased brother had talked about school kids buying banned substances and often using them against their enemies. In an attempt to expose Yoonsuk, Kanha asks the teacher to open the cupboard, but it turns out to be a sedative and not a threat. At the same time, the students plan to brutally beat up Kanha, and Juwon hears this, but decides not to inform her mother, who works as the school principal. Jade turns to Era for help, so that her friend can help her figure out the blackmailer. On the weekend, the school children can spend their time as they wish. Some relax in the pool or play sports, others go on field trips and live in cabins on the school grounds. Jay has lunch with her friends, but she gets bored with the presence of Ryan, who dreams of getting her back at any cost. Ignoring her ex-boyfriend, the girl leaves and meets Kanha heading to the drugstore. Jay decides to keep him company and the couple takes off on a bicycle, enjoying nature in the ocean. Soon they get caught in the rain and play with a small puppy and ride back in the evening. While a crowd of bullies wait for Kanha outside his cabin, Jay invites the guy over to his place to let his clothes dry after the rain. Teacher Han, who has decided to spend the night with Woojin again, notices this and tells the guy. Woojin calls Ryan to call the principal to intervene in what is happening. Meanwhile, Kanha and Jay watch a movie and the guy starts falling asleep. Sensing the romantic mood, the girl confesses that she too enjoyed their first kiss. The couple is ready to kiss again, but Jay feels a bracelet on the schoolboy's hand, exactly like the one that was on the late student's hand. Soon the principal bursts in and promises to expel Kanha from the school. The next morning, a hearing is held, but Jay defends the boy and also informs Rian that she has feelings for Kanha. Ryan decides to cause jealousy and start a relationship with Era. At the same time, Jai asks to tell Kanha the truth because she guesses who he really is. Afraid of being exposed, Kanha deceives the girl and says that he just wants to be the best student of this school to secure a happy future for himself. Jay doesn't believe the guy and assumes he's hiding something, but can't prove it since his personal file says he has no siblings. Meanwhile, Ryan works out hard at the gym and beats up his opponent, wishing that Kanha was in his place. The next morning, Ryan decides to continue pretending to be Era's happy boyfriend and agrees to give her a ride to school. At the same time, Jay meets Kanha and suggests that he go to class with her. Upon arriving at the school, the pair hold hands and shock both students and teachers. They are afraid of the possible repercussions, knowing that the hottie had previously dated Ryan and only he could hold her hand. One of the schoolboys courts Era, since they once spent the night together, but the girl ignores him, dreaming of a normal relationship with Ryan. There are only 4 students in the special class for the elite: Ryan, Woojin, Era, and Jay. The pretty girl decides to fix this and orders a 5th chair to be brought in for Kanha, since she paid for his class and wants the guy by her side. After hearing all this, the bully who tried to beat up Kanha falls on his knees in front of him and apologizes. He is ready for the guy to beat him with a stick, but Kanha doesn't need it. He is much more amazed by the fact that even among the elite, there is a hierarchy. Soon Kanha finds a warning note in the closet that Ryan can take revenge on him and the guy will repeat the fate of the deceased student. The humble schoolboys try to befriend Kanha as he has become a popular personality. During a soccer match, Ryan brings the team victory and passionately kisses Eru, knowing that Jai is present among the fans and trying to make her feel jealous. The guy in love with Era tries to talk to her, but she blows him off rudely, ordering him to forget about the feelings and the night they spent together. The principal prepares information about the schoolboys and gives it to Ryan's mother. At the same time, Kanha meets Taho, the son of a rich man and formerly a good friend. They hide the fact that they know each other at school, but decide to talk in a cafe, not realizing that the principal's son is eavesdropping on their conversation. Kanha promises to gather evidence and expose the crime-ridden school, but first he needs to gather clues about what's going on here. In the evening, Jay visits Ryan and asks him not to use their mutual friend for selfish purposes. Ignoring his already ex-girlfriend's words, Rich invites Era to his place, and she promptly arrives to spend time together. Meanwhile, Jay continues to suffer from the actions of the blackmailer, who promises to reveal all her secrets. The girl is afraid of this, knowing that her father can do to her as horribly as he did to her mother. Moreover, the head of a big company wants his daughter to marry the son of his business partner, and she can't object to it. The next morning, Kanha gives Jay a ride to school on his bicycle and treats her with sweets. The girl asks her not to fall in love and says that she is only socializing with him out of pity and fear of being executed, but Kanha is not afraid of that. In the evening, Jay advises Era not to fall for Ryan's provocation and learns whether her men have managed to find the blackmailer. The next night, the elite organize a party attended by the students and their parents. Kanha, like other poor students, is involved in a music band to earn a little money. Era's father dreams of becoming more successful and asks her to introduce him to Jaya's father. Era asks her friend to do so, but she rudely refuses her, which makes the girl feel angry. Ryan's mother and Jay's father communicate with each other and categorically deny the possibility of a relationship between their children. Jay's father is focused on money and Ryan's mother is interested in power, so the schoolchildren are not suited for each other. Seeing from the outside that her father is less important than these two, Era decides to get revenge on Jay and tells her father that the girl has a boyfriend and it's a beggar student named Kanha. From the flashback, it becomes clear who exactly ran over Kanha's brother, stealing and hiding his cell phone and a pen with a video camera. In the present tense, Kanha opens Ryan's drawer, trying to find illegal substances in it, but instead notices a photo of a happy Jaya. The next morning, Ryan arrives at Eugene place to interact with his family and realize what normal and loving parents mean. Jaya's father expresses his displeasure to his daughter about her relationship with a beggar and informs her that she will move to the US after her studies. The girl does not agree and quarrels with her brother over it, but she cannot object to her overbearing and strict father. The next morning, Kanha offers Jay a full-fledged relationship in which he will make her happy, but the girl is afraid of it and rejects the guy. Juwon tries to understand what Daeho and Kanha are hiding. At the same time, teacher Han provokes Jay to a scandal, but the girl rudely responds to the woman, noticing her branded thing that does not correspond to her status and income. Having met with Kanha, Era warns the boy that Jai is more dangerous than he can imagine, and perhaps she is responsible for the crime against the deceased student. During the lesson, Jay is blackmailed again. Moreover, an anonymous person publishes her personal photo on social media, causing many people to start laughing. The girl runs away without realizing that Woojin and teacher Han are behind it. Seeing Jay's reaction, Kanha rushes after her but is stopped by Rian. During a dialogue, the humble guy keeps himself confident and declares that they won't be able to intimidate him or get rid of him the same way they did the deceased student. This makes Ryan nervous and tries to find out who Kanha is. Through a long search, he learns that Kanha is the twin brother of the deceased student. Meanwhile, Jai talks to Era and learns that the blackmailer is from their school, but she is unable to find out more details about who it is. The girls end their long-standing friendship amidst the fact that Era loves Rian and wants to be with him. As it turns out, Era's family is on the verge of bankruptcy, and the girl is ready to do anything to help her father's business. In the evening, Jay's father invites her to dinner with a business partner and her son. During the conversation, the girl begins to be blackmailed again. As it turns out, she was previously pregnant and got rid of the baby. Nervous that her father will find out about this, Jay vomits, after which the girl faints. A business meeting with her fiancé is disrupted, so her father punishes Ji and sends her to a country house, after which she will leave for the USA. Learning about this, Kanha heads to the girl's house to support her in her time of need. Knowing who Kanha is, Ryan also rushes to Jay's place. Era tries to detain the guy and confesses her love, but he doesn't react to her in any way. At the same time, Jay confesses that she is the one who took the life of a schoolboy, and Kanha declares that he is his twin brother. Jay reveals that she and Kanha's brother became friends, which caused the boy to be bullied and beaten up regularly. She was bullied by her brother and the late student supported her, not knowing that she was Ryan's girlfriend. Kanha asks for more answers, but suddenly Ryan appears and attacks him. A fight breaks out between the guys, and Jade remembers how the late student was beaten up. She asks the guys to stop, and it is Ryan who calms her down, which makes Kanha feel unnecessary and leaves. Soon everyone finds out about Kanha being the brother of the deceased, including the headmistress of the school. She threatens the guy with expulsion for a formal reason, but he has recorded this conversation on a tape recorder and can now blackmail her into staying here as long as possible. Jay agrees to become Jun's wife and leave with him, so her father lifts the house ban. When the girl returns from a date, she is met by Ryan, who confesses his love and promises to do anything to keep them together. Despite the confession, Jay rejects him and goes home, asking him not to bother her anymore. In the evening, Era invites her friend to a party in honor of her departure, but it is too late, as Jay will leave earlier. The girls practically hate each other, even though they were friends. Era has gotten dirt from Jay's brother and is ready to use it against her, but her friend declares that she will leave for New York without a fight. Era asks her father for money for the party and gets it, despite bankruptcy. At the same time, the school discovers that Daeho is a friend of Kanha's and brutally beats him up for it. Kanha stands up for the schoolboy and beats up Yoonsok, reminding him that he's just a pathetic schoolboy running after Ryan to pretend to be his friend. At the same time, it becomes clear that Jay's real blackmailer is not Woojin or Mrs. Han, but the school principal's son Juwon. He sends the girl another message and makes her nervous. Not knowing who to turn to, Jay asks Kanha to help her find this man, but the guy doesn't want to help her and Ryan. After school, Woojin drops Era off, hoping to confess his love to her, and ignores the teacher. Upon arriving home, Era learns that her parents are practically bankrupt and the bailiffs have taken all their jewelry. The next day, Jay says goodbye to her family and goes to the airport with June in the evening. Era throws a party in honor of this, to which she invites all the students of the school. Kanha exposes Juwon, realizing that he was the blackmailer, and asks if he was friends with his late brother. Soon, Era learns from the news that Jun has been arrested at the airport for selling white powder. At the same time, a car appears in the hall, from which Ryan and Jay get out. Holding hands, they announce that they will be a couple again. Angry at what is happening and his helplessness, Kanha asks Juwon to give him all the videos and dirt to use against the school's elite. After the party, Era has a fight with Jay and Ryan, realizing that they can no longer be friends. Returning home, the girl learns that her father has finally gone bankrupt, and now they are forced to live in a cheap and terrible hotel. Meanwhile, Ryan and Jay go to a restaurant to talk and make up, starting their relationship all over again. Meanwhile, Woojin learns that Jae went to a gynecologist in the US and was pregnant. The next morning, the poor school kids unite to start a riot for justice. Kanha and Juwon promise to do everything they can to have more rights and for the rich to stop humiliating them. After meeting Jae, Woojin confesses that he loves Era and wants to be with her, but the girl's actions ruin everything. In the evening, Era receives dirt from Jae's brother and learns that her ex-girlfriend has lost a child. Angry, she punches the guy in the face because such information cannot be used for blackmail and manipulation. The next day, Jae goes to a poor neighborhood to meet and talk with Kanha. The girl admits that she loves Ryan and wants to be with him, so she will do anything to protect the guy and his reputation. Ryan tells his mother about his crush, but she is against a relationship with the daughter of a rival. Woojin, while returning home, meets a teacher in a blue BMW, the car that hit Kanha's late brother. From their conversation, it becomes clear that they are the ones involved and keep the secret between them. At the same time, Woojin admits that he loves Eru and wants to be with her, so he breaks up with teacher Han. Soon Ryan receives the very videotape in which he and Jae spend time together. The guy asks to find the blackmailer and deal with him as soon as possible. Ryan calms the girl down and promises to punish the culprits. Kanha threatens the principal and asks him to make the school fair or else he will publish dirt proving the inactivity of teachers and principal. Ji learns that Juwon was the blackmailer and talks to Kanha again, promising to protect Ryan to the last. Determined to explain the reason for this behavior, Jae confesses that she loves the guy and only broke up with him and traveled to the US to terminate her pregnancy. She did not dare to take this step, although she was afraid of the father, but lost the child due to nervous tension. Sympathizing with the girl, Kanha decides to do everything so that she does not get into a scandal. Woojin offers Era material help, but the girl refuses and informs Ryan that the blackmailer may be Jae's brother. He beats up the guy, but Kanha stops him and tells him the truth about the girl's pregnancy. Jae persuades his father to help Era's father's business and makes peace with his girlfriend, after which he promises to return to the United States. Ryan tries to talk to the girl and support her in a difficult moment because the loss of a child is their common grief. Woojin supports the couple, but only pretends to be a friend since it was he who first told all the secrets to Jae's father. After a while, it becomes known that the real culprit who took the life of Kanha's brother was teacher Han. The guy saw her in Woojin's arms, and the woman was afraid of publicity. While chasing the guy, she accidentally hit him, after which she fled the scene of the accident. Kanha gets the video footage from Juwon and takes it to the police, resulting in an investigation. The police look into the abuse, sale of illegal substances, and other crimes that took place at the school. Many students and teachers come under suspicion, but wealthy parents step in to rectify the situation. The school children decide to change their attitudes towards the poor and find common ground so that conflicts will be a thing of the past. Ryan discovers that a videotape from his house has been sent by the school principal. At the same time, Jae tries to talk to the blackmailer Juwon and realizes that he is too pathetic because he wanted to hurt her but was afraid of public conflicts. During the dialogue with the director, Ryan learns that behind everything is his mother, who wanted to spoil her son's relationship with Jae. Meanwhile, the girl meets Kanha to talk and apologize for her behavior. As she says goodbye, she denies that she was in love with him and leaves. In the evening, she shows Rihan an ultrasound photo of their baby. The couple has a hard time getting over it and decides to start their lives with a clean slate. The next morning, they visit Kanha's brother's grave and try to be good people. Knowing that the teacher was in a relationship with Woojin, the principal kicks her out of school. At the same time, Woojin is tormented by his conscience, as he was the one who did everything to get Jae to go to the US and now regrets it. Han is angry at the guy and promises that this is not the end and she will definitely take revenge on him. Realizing that she is dangerous, Woojin gives Jae the pen footage that Kanha receives. He takes the video to the police, which results in teacher Han being arrested and sent to jail for taking Kanha's brother's life and fleeing the scene of an accident. The founders of the school kick out the principal and try to improve the reputation, promising to sort everything out. Ryan apologizes to Kanha, but he doesn't accept his remorse as his late brother can't be brought back. After spending her last day with Ryan, Jae leaves for the US, before confessing to Kanha that she had indeed been in love with him for a while. A short while later, life at school settles down and no one hurts each other anymore. Meanwhile, Jai arrives in the US and discovers that she can finally live with her mother, whom she hasn't seen in over 15 years.